Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sana. I make kind of girly content, skincare content, self-care content, and in today's video we're going to be talking about kind of what I eat in a day, as for someone that has eczema, autoimmune diseases, and the whole kind of shebang. So what made me actually want to change my diet was I had eczema growing up, and obviously doctors couldn't really help me. I had to kind of go online, go on YouTube and try and find different things that were going to help me heal. My eczema was quite bad. It was all over my face, all over my neck, hands, arms, the whole lot. So for me, it was really important to kind of find help heal and cure my symptoms. Doctors and people love to claim that there's no cure, but for each and every person there is something that is going to help heal your eczema. For me, diet played a massive part in healing it. I actually eat whole foods only, and I do lean more towards like an animal-based diet. I'm not fully animal-based or anything like that, but I definitely eat specifically whole foods. So the definition of whole foods is to eat foods that are not processed, that have no excess sugar in them, and again, yeah, they're not processed, they're whole, they're completely natural, and that is what I like to stick to. Of course, whole foods for me include eating a lot of protein, healthy fat, nuts and snacks and stuff. But again, we're going to go into that right now, and I want to kind of tell you what I eat and what I prioritize. What you need to know is that I usually prioritize high protein. So I eat a lot of protein, and that has been kind of great for my skin as well. So I like to eat meat, eggs, things like chicken, red meat, a lot of red meat, to kind of build up my iron levels. And I do like to eat a lot of fish as well, because they have a lot of natural oils that will kind of help moisturize your skin. So those are the few things that I like to eat in terms of meat, which is, I'm going to keep it super simple. And then what I like to do is prioritize like fruit and vegetables. So I eat a lot of fruit throughout the day. However, if you do have eczema, please be careful at the type of fruits that you eat, because when you have eczema, a lot of citrusy fruits and tomatoes and things like that probably can trigger your eczema. So have fruits that are like really good for your gut, like berries, bananas, apples and things like that. Try and stay away from the citrusy fruits. And then in terms of vegetables, I really do like to prioritize like my carbs and vegetables. As you guys know, like I like to gain weight. I don't like to like lose my weight. So that is more my focus diet wise. So I do like to eat a lot of potatoes and things like that. Obviously have your salads and stuff as well, but salads are mainly in the fruit element, like cucumbers, tomatoes. Obviously if you want to eat your greens, you can eat your greens. I don't eat that much just because they just don't sit right in my stomach. But that's just me personally. If you want to eat like your fruit and veg however you want, that's totally up to you. And then we like to incorporate some healthy fats. So for me personally, when it comes to healthy fats and oils and things that I'm cooking with, I just like to stick to kind of butter, whole milk butter, like no margarines, nothing like that. I don't use any vegetable oils or any sunflower oils or anything like that, because I just feel like they're very processed, they're very bad for you. Obviously I'm not a scientist or anything like that, so please do go and do your research before kind of taking my advice. No vegetable oils, no sunflower oils, no seed oils at all. I just like to keep it, if I am going to use oils, I like to use extra virgin olive oil or extra virgin avocado oil. Those are my top two favorites. And butter. And obviously I am Asian, so we do like to use a lot of ghee. And in terms of healthy fats, I like to keep it to that. Obviously as an eczema girly, I know we have to be careful with dairy, but because I have actually cut out all processed sugars and processed foods like wheat and things like that, I feel like I can actually handle dairy a lot better than when I was a child. When I was a child, I really couldn't handle dairy, but I think there's something when you're eating too much sugar and processed foods that just doesn't bode well with dairy. So I think for me, that's what it was. I don't know what it is for everyone else, but if you do want to try that, I would highly recommend, because I can actually drink milk, I can eat cheeses and things like that I actually couldn't do when I was younger. So yeah, I eat dairy, but obviously if you can't eat dairy and if you feel like it just sits really bad in your stomach, I would kind of recommend goat's milk rather than cow's milk. Yeah, that's quite a good alternative. Obviously you can go to other alternatives like nut alternatives like almond milk, oat milk and soy, but I don't really drink those types of milk. I've actually done my research, and for me, I think they're actually a lot more bad for you than they are good, but that's just my opinion. Guys, I know I've said that I have cut out all processed sugars, but if you do have a sweet tooth and things like that, and if you do want to have a treat every now and then by all means definitely do that. Like, I'm not here to kind of tell you not to do that. You've got to do what's best for you, and if you have that craving and you want to satisfy it, then by honestly all means go ahead and do that. I try not to because I just hate the feeling of having like my eczema flare-ups, and honestly, like, I just hate the feeling of it, so I won't do it because it will really trigger my eczema, especially like around my wrist areas and my hands. But what I do have as an alternative is just natural sugars. So again, like, you can have your fruits and things like that, but you can also try like honey, and from time to time you can have like dark chocolate. I know that's not for everyone. When I was younger, I hated dark chocolate. I think it's like a thing when you get a bit older, you just start to like certain things again, but incorporate dates and things like that, because again, they're natural, healthy sugars that are meant to be really good for you. So obviously I have just spoken about all the foods that I do eat, but I think it's important to kind of inform you guys of the types of foods that I do not eat, so you kind of know what to kind of cut out from your diet rather than just what to keep in as well. So for me, like I said, there's like no processed sugar. So what that means is I don't have anything that has any added sugar in it. But you can check labels of items at the supermarket stores when you're buying things. But for me, it's pretty self-explanatory. Things like cakes, sweets, chocolate, things like dates that have like syrup and things like that on them. That is like, again, that's processed sugars on something. So even if it looks healthy, it may not be healthy. And those are the kind of things that I keep my eye on in terms of processed sugars. So I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And then in terms of processed foods in general, I try to stay away from a lot of takeaways. I haven't had a takeaway in years. But look, again, you can kind of treat yourself every now and then if you want to. If you do enjoy those foods, and by all means, like, have them every now and again, but you just don't have to have them all the time, like how a lot of people nowadays have them every other day. You don't have to do that. I have totally cut out wheat. So wheat no longer exists in my diet. Bread, pastas, paratha, if you're South Asian, paratha, rotis. I can't have that. It really does trigger my eczema. So I kind of stay away from wheat and processed things like that. People do ask me if I substitute it with anything. I don't really substitute it with anything. I just have like more vegetable based carbs rather than processed carbs. They just work better for me, and I just feel like I'm not losing any weight if I eat those carbs versus the processed carbs. So yeah, like, guys know Greg's has got to go. Things like patties. Oh, guys, I used to love, I love patties, but they've got to go, man, because things like that, they just trigger my eczema bad. Like, I will get it all over my neck, my face, and it's, you know what, I feel like it wouldn't be that bad if I had like a little bit of eczema here and there, like on my legs and my arms, because you can kind of cover that. But for the places you can't cover, the uncomfortability of it and then the scratching on top of that is the reason why it's so easy for me to cut out these things. Unless you've experienced that, like, you just won't know. You just won't know. But yeah, that is the main reason why I stay away from those foods, and that kind of motivates me to stay away from them. When I remember like the consequences of eating these things and how bad that they can be for me, that just makes me not want to eat them. And obviously, guys, like, it's not just eczema that's affected when you eat these things. Like, a lot of processed sugars and wheat and things like that, it can literally just cause a lot of other health issues and autoimmune diseases in the future. Especially like young women, we have to be really careful with what we're kind of eating and how we're living, because we are so much more prone to autoimmune diseases than men are. So it's really important that we prioritize that. So that's for all the girls out there. That's not just for like the eczema girlies, that's for everyone. Just to kind of keep an eye on, so you can take care of yourself, man, and live your best life, because sometimes when you have all these issues, it is difficult to live your best life, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah. And then in terms of snacks and stuff, guys, I stick to nuts. The reason why I wasn't going to mention it is because a lot of people are actually allergic to nuts. But again, if you are looking for like quick and easy snacks, you can make things like cheese snacks. You can get like cucumber, carrot sticks. There's so many different types of healthy snacks that you can actually just grab. You can grab a fruit for your snack. It doesn't have to be like nuts if you are allergic to nuts. There's so many other things that you can have. And I think I have now covered everything. So yeah, thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like this type of content, and then follow me on all my social media. I am Sana__X on TikTok and Instagram. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.